All right, finally, welcome to episode 8 of the Filmroom, where I'm here with Malik. I'm here with Brian. Thanks, guys, for joining today.
So
And two topics for today simple the Avengers Doomsday casting, and we got a pretty old topic, but still going to be current and future news as well. Sadie Sink is joining the cast of Spider-Man 4. So we begin off with Avengers Doomsday casting, where yesterday or a couple days ago, Marvel decided to announced the cast for Doomsday in the most boring but genius marketing ever imaginable. They had 275 million people watching the live stream all around the world, watching one chair at a time every 20 minutes to announce one member of the Doomsday casting. First of all, before we get into the casting, what are your guys' thoughts on the way they did this?
I mean, it's very creative. I give them that,
It's
but it was quite drawn out. I feel like it could have been just the reel that they
I don't,
posted after. It wasn't really like all that.
yeah, I don't want to say something stupid and go off a limb here, but I definitely feel like they went like the Frank Ocean route. I kind of remember he kind of did something similar to that like years ago. Before he drops, like I think like years before he drops his Blonde album to get out of his record label and whatnot. I just like I could be wrong. It's probably like somewhat similar or somewhat different, but it's definitely I'm definitely excited to see like how they and I do think there's a lot more to go on. You know,
Mhm.
there's a
And
lot more
yeah,
when it comes to
and
testing.
let me tell you, this marketing was again genius because they had that many people watching just chairs for 5 hours of their time. And what pissed me off the most was they had a 1 minute and 20-second reel recapping everything right after the last announcement with RDJ. If people waited until 5 p.m. that one day, they would have gone everything in 1 minute. Like,
Yeah,
like everyone was confused. They were pissed. They were just never again. But it was still the most genius all-time marketing by Marvel. They had everyone in a chokehold basically for one day.
yep.
And
Like,
and speaking of the casting, here are the many of the 25 or 27 names out of 50. It's supposed to be 50 or 60 cast members, so the list is not finished, but it's also the names you see here that are confirmed. The first name was Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Mackie. I'm not gonna go through all 27 names, but you had very like high character names like Shang-Chi is back, Bucky Barnes is back, Black Panther is back. You have Kelsey Grammer from the original X-Men Beast coming back. You had Patrick Stewart. You have Tom Hiddleston. You have, like I said, Professor X, Ian McKellen, the original Magneto, the original Nightcrawler, all the original X-Men characters coming back for Doomsday. So this tells you it's going to obviously be, or I can't forget to mention James Marsden, my favorite Cyclops, with Channing Tatum as Gambit when back, I think, the X-Men Origins Wolverine or the other um, X-Men movie where it had, I think, Taylor Kitsch, it's his name, Taylor Kitsch, as his version of Gambit. That version of Gambit was my personal favorite. Channing Tatum came back as like the most fan favorite in my opinion, but the fact that they're bringing back all the original X-Men characters tells you it's gonna obviously be a multiversal movie. And what are you guys' thoughts on all the notable names that were not even lifted? When that's many, you have Jeremy Renner, Hawkeyes, Chris Pratt, Tom Holland. I have on my phone here the list actually. Tom Holland, Charlie Cox, and Vision, among many others. Do you guys what are your guys' thoughts on the reason why they only announced 25 names out of the full 50?
I think it leaves opportunity, um, for like the alternate versions of their characters. So like, Tom Holland could be with the symbiote and all that. So like,
Mm,
I feel like they purposefully left that out to like build some more hype around it. You know, like Tom Holland is gonna be in this movie, so um, it's just maybe like a bit.
To build the suspense, probably.
Yeah. So I
And
mean, it makes sense. Like, I mean, all of the cast that got like announced, except for like the X-Men ones, I was pretty much like expecting, because it's an Avengers movie. So it's like, eh. The ones I'm most excited about is like the original X-Men, because like X-Men was like the first Marvel movies that I
Right.
ever watched, and like that's what got me into Marvel. So I'm excited for that.
I'm kind of leaning on the same boat that he's on right now, because I kind of do. I was actually going to mention the symbiote as well, but first things first, I actually want to get off my chest before I forget. Hopefully, this is the movie where we figure out why Thor was crying. You know what I mean? And so,
Were you holding
I
Deadpool in his arms?
yeah, I definitely think that maybe if not that, then most likely it will be in Secret Wars. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of leaning more towards it being in Secret Wars. But I was also gonna mention like never know what's gonna happen as far as like the characters that were not mentioned. You know what I mean? Because for what it's looking like as far as like Sebastian Stan playing Bucky, the this might be the last movie, not Doomsday. What it just
The,
left my mind. What movie's coming out?
the Secret Wars or Thunderbolts.
No. What movie's coming out next month or in May?
Well, we got Thunderbolts. We got Fantastic Four coming out.
Thunderbolts. Yeah, so this Thunderbolts might be the last thing we see him in before the Doomsday Project. You know what I mean? Even from like a cameo. So I feel like they're naming characters where they're not really gonna do much updating to. Like for example, like Spider-Man, I personally didn't see Spider-Man on there, and so
Right. I mean,
who knows?
the
Maybe they might introduce Miles by the time Doomsday comes out. You know what I mean? So you never know what can happen. That'd be pretty fire. And one thing that I saw that I found very interesting, that do you remember in Beyond the no, and Across the
across.
Spider, how they brought in a live action Donald Glover to play
Right.
the father? So maybe they might do something like that, where they'll bring like the cartoon version, how they
Right.
did. You know what I
That
mean?
would,
So
yeah.
yeah, they'll probably bring in the actual cartoon Miles, if Shamik Moore would just get in and do his lines.
You know,
It's
actually, what I did hear that Marvel is planning, whether it's Doomsday or Secret Wars, to mix the live action characters with the cartoon characters, like Captain Carter and all those different characters from What If, to bring them into these live action movies, Doomsday or especially Secret Wars. So I mean,
because
that
also
that
keep in mind, this wouldn't be the first. They kind of played around with it where they had what's the name of the clock, right? Like for sure she's got to be in it. You know
Miss
what I mean?
Minutes.
Yeah, Miss Minutes. And also they kind of played around with it in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, where they like did a glimpse of like them being in like a cartoonish kind of world,
All those
you know?
different universes, right?
Yeah. So it kind of felt like those movies, even with Beyond the Spider-Verse, it kind of, I mean, Across the Spider-Verse,
Across.
it kind of like, yeah. Um, it kind of feels like they're just testing the waters, you know what I mean? So it's like at this point you gotta assume any person that's ever touched Marvel, like I'm talking about even from like the 90s, maybe even the 80s. Well, okay, probably not the 80s, but
That might be
you
reaching too
know,
far.
that is potential for them to come back. You know what I mean?
Right. But I did hear actually, some of these characters that were not named in Doomsday might actually have like reasons for scheduling purposes. Chris Pratt, as far as I know, he's committed to filming season 2 of The Terminal List for Prime Video while they're filming Doomsday. So some of the actors are actually committed to filming other shows while Doomsday is happening. So my prediction is the Russo brothers, Kevin Feige, well, they try to bring them back in like their own Endgame portal style again, probably like another version of Infinity War Endgame, but they're gonna have to up it up because we saw how it looked the portal scene in Endgame. So imagine the same thing, but with more multiversal characters instead of just
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny, really funny that you said. Very sorry to interrupt. It's very funny that you said that because I don't know if you remember when Superior Iron Man was supposed to pull up, and Tom Cruise was gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that. He couldn't pull up to scheduling issues, because of the whole thing with
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
Right.
Maybe they might
And
bring him
like
back. You know what I
for
mean?
Tom Holland, at least, like I mean, he's you know basically confirmed
Yeah, I mean,
for
there's no
Nolan's Odyssey. That's
right,
like in production right now.
right. Yeah, the filming. Yeah,
So
there's the
he's doing a
Odyssey.
bunch of shit. So
Mm-hmm.
it
Right,
might be just like a I don't know by
right.
Marvel.
Yeah, he's filming the Odyssey, and he's also gonna. And Spider-Man 4 takes place, I think, during or after Doomsday. So I'm pretty sure he's also filming Spider-Man 4 as well while they're filming Doomsday. So
Exactly.
You mean,
So
you mean like
at
the
most it
shooting?
may
You
be a
mean
cameo.
what was
I
that?
was gonna say, you mean the shooting of Spider-Man 4, or like
Yeah,
the timeline of like in the
no,
movie?
I think the timeline of the movie would take place during or after Doomsday. I heard. So I think he's
Mm.
gonna be filming Spider-Man 4 around this and next year, which is why also scheduling purposes he won't be in Doomsday maybe, but he'll definitely appear in Secret Wars.
This might be a reach, but I got a question. Who do you guys think, like, just to throw it out there, who do you guys think would be an end credit for Doomsday?
And probably the main villain for Secret Wars, or not main villain, but what the main plot would be about for Secret Wars. Like how Fantastic Four, the post credits scene will likely be Doomsday. The tease, I mean, the
Most
Doom to probably tease Doomsday. So probably, however they want to tease Secret Wars, that will be in the post credits scene for Doomsday. That's just my guess.
I
Yeah,
can't wait for
like
Silver Surfer to come back. Like
For who?
Silver Surfer, like
Yeah,
they
I'm
got
not a
him.
fan of casting, man.
They got
Silver Surfer is that guy from '09 or 010, Rise of Silver Surfer. That guy, he's my Silver Surfer, but it's Marvel. They apparently never disappointed for castings. So I trust them.
not necessarily the casting, but I mean like just the character
Character.
itself.
Right.
Like I want to see Silver Surfer come back. Like just the character itself. I don't care too
Mhm.
much for the casting,
Well, the
but
casting is what makes the character great, in my opinion.
oh yeah,
The
of
guy.
course.
yeah, hundred
Yeah.
percent.
But yeah, I mean, overall, it's also been rumored, or probably even heavily rumored by some influencers actually out there saying that the next batch of announcements for Doomsday might actually be in the Marvel's panel. Either I doubt Amazon, I doubt, but maybe San Diego Comic Con in San Diego. It's around July, so I do think we could get the rest of the cast announced on stage on that day when it's Marvel's panel. With Doom or the day on stage, they bring out all the rest of the bigger name characters, and then the last person to be announced. And this I'm not gonna take from anyone. I'm gonna give credits to Soups. He mentioned that the last casting to be announced could be Chris Evans to come back because it's really confirmed he's coming back. So he could be the last one mentioned on purpose just to build the hype, along with Deadpool, along with Logan, who's not announced yet. So they might bring Deadpool and Logan together on stage again.
He's 90, bro. It's basically till he's 90, bro. It's basically confirmed.
Almost,
Like,
I mean, Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen's already looking almost 90, so they're being serious with this stuff. I mean, I thought he was done playing Magneto, but it looks like they're bringing him back and not the other one from the more current X-Men days.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender.
Exactly.
whoa,
Ugh.
I mean, I don't
Ian
think. I
McKellen.
mean, yeah. The original Magneto, he's gonna be him and Patrick Stewart are reunited again for Doomsday. So who knows who lives, who dies in Doomsday to move on to Secret Wars? Who knows how this whole storyline happens? And just know the Russo brothers have to up their game after Infinity War and Endgame because many people thought Marvel was done after Endgame. Phase 4 was a little bit downhill along aside from some notable great shows and movies. Phase 5 and 6 is when they know it has to be more up because again they had 275 million people watching Chairs, so that tells you Marvel is not dead, which is
Yeah,
insane.
like people are still holding out hope, and like hopefully they realize that Phase 4 was kind of a flop. Like okay,
I mean,
we got to pump out something like really good.
that's true. I mean, it was a flop, but there was some decent content out there. Loki was my favorite standouts. WandaVision is underrated show to me, and No Way Home. That's I think Phase 4, Phase 5. No Way Home is definitely a fan service standout, and
100%.
I do have to admit, the other shows. One more show, Falcon and Winter Soldier, was my all time, not all time, but another one of my favorites. But Secret
So
Invasion
we
was a
should Moon Knight.
letdown.
We just don't forget
Um,
about.
no, I'm not. Because of you, it's relevant again. But I'm definitely gonna. I think season 2 is definitely in the making, but not in production yet. But they want to make season 2, just don't know when. But who knows if Moon Knight is in Secret Wars or in part of the Doomsday casting? There's still 25 other members to be announced, which is insane and just
Yeah.
insane. But
Yeah.
yeah, overall, any other thoughts on the casting for Doomsday, the way they did it, or who you want specifically to see in Doomsday, or what do you think will happen in Secret Wars, or just anything? Any other thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
I just want Tom Holland in there. Like that's just my take. Like throw Tom Holland in there, I'll be happy.
I do.
I want.
Yeah.
I really want Shang-Chi in there.
Well, he's
I
back.
want Shang-Chi in the mix. No, yeah, it's like I can't. I'm excited for it. And also,
Honestly, yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I forgot, bro.
All right. So before when I did mention about the original X-Men coming back, like Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, Ian McKellen, this and that, James Martin, another standout as Cyclops. What I did see that they didn't mention yet, and they better mention this whether it's Comic Con or whenever. I noticed the original Jean Grey, the original Storm, Halle Berry, and I really forgot. I can't believe I forgot the name of the original Jean Grey, but those two other OG characters were not mentioned, and I really want to know why. Because I loved Halle Berry Storm, and I was really hoping she was announced during that 4 hour, 5 hour live stream. Those two
I'm
were
not
not
gonna lie.
announced, and
I think Storm is getting replaced. I
that
think. I
could be
think I'd probably get
that,
replaced.
that could
Maybe.
be a reason. And I'm afraid. I mean, yeah, but the fact that they're bringing back the OG's X-Men, when they bring back the OG Jean Grey, OG Storm, I mean, I was looking for the names, but they weren't announced, at least not yet.
It might be more of a thing in like Secret Wars, probably. I don't know. I
Man,
could be wrong.
they better be,
And
but
then,
I don't know.
then
Everything's
after
so
that,
early.
I
it
really
is.
what I'm most excited for
Hmm.
gotta be Deadpool kill the Marvel cast or whatnot.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like I want to see that.
Or
I'm genuinely.
or what if this Doomsday could be a segue to something that would throw us off, but like not unknown, but something that we didn't think as soon as now. What if this Doomsday with the casting could lead to, spin-off of X-Men versus Marvel or versus Avengers, like a little spin-off of this.
Could be.
Wait, what do you
Very
mean?
well could be.
Like how films do spin-offs. Like we all know this Doomsday leads to Secret Wars, but
Or yeah.
what if after Doomsday we get an announcement for X-Men versus the Avengers, another solid, high anticipated film by Marvel fans. Like you go on
Could be.
Google,
It's possible.
and it's
I feel like they're gonna like change the cast of like a lot of people though. You know what I mean for the
yep,
Avengers.
yep.
And wait, I'll be honest with you. As far as X-Men and the event versus the Avengers, as much as I would love to see that, not with this new Avengers cast. I'm not sure if that's something I'd care too much about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of sad, because
Yeah,
they've been
everyone's getting older.
committed
It's
for
not like
like 10 years of it, I believe. So
yeah.
it's just
Right.
One thing I will say, I
Yeah.
really excited to see something about like a World War Hulk. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I wanna
Mm-hmm.
see how that. I want to see. I very much want to see like Hulk crashing out after the Illuminati kicked him
Right.
out.
yeah. That's another thing. Mark Ruffalo wasn't announced, so
You
what's going
know,
on with
that's
that?
true. He's one of the OGs that are not announced yet. And here's what I
I'm sad.
realized. People on
Edward
Twitter,
Norton
yes,
is my
he's my favorite
go
Hulk.
ahead.
He's my favorite Hulk.
Yeah, he's my favorite Hulk. 2008 Hulk is my
Mm-hmm.
favorite.
Although it's a bad movie-ish, he was my personal favorite Hulk. And also
I didn't even
before,
think it was a good movie. I'm gonna be honest with you.
people have
I
their opinions, and I could see it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, yeah.
And actually, before we do move on, someone did mention actually that this casting announcement does kind of spoil Thunderbolts because most of the cast, if not all, apparently coming back for Doomsday, including Lewis Pullman's Sentry, who's played by Sentry played by Lewis Pullman. If you guys watched Top Gun, he plays Bob in Top Gun, and yeah, Sentry's coming back apparently. You have most of the Thunderbolts except for Taskmaster. Taskmaster has not been seen at all almost in any of the trailers, marketing. I'm not sure if they just moved on from that character or if Taskmaster, gets killed off early in the movie. I'm not sure what happened to that character. But most of the characters in Thunderbolts do come back. So it tells you that no one really you know, die or no one really unlives
Yeah.
after this movie, which I mean, what's there to look forward to now? Just some great action, a great villain in Sentry, but who knows how his character is used, Sentry and Doomsday even.
Yeah, it's a
Taskmaster.
lot of
I wouldn't be mad if they don't bring back Taskmaster. I didn't like how they did that character in
I'm
Black
in
Widow.
the same boat as you.
yeah, it's not it
Not like
was
it.
Yeah,
wasn't all that.
Bring back Taskmaster. Well, at least that version of the Taskmaster, I wouldn't be mad at it.
that's true. And again, different topic, but I am wondering to see. I'm curious to see how they do maybe bring back um, the newer X-Men characters because they're bringing back the original cast, the original characters, but I do wonder to see how they plan to do a potential X-Men versus Avengers film, which happens to be the perfect segue to our next topic, actually, which is right here. Guys, we have actually the newest casting announcement for also Spider-Man 4, which, which happens to be Sadie Sink in Spider-Man 4. Let me pull it up right here. What do you guys think about Sadie Sink joining Marvel now?
I think Sadie Sink is a good actor. Um, she's been like on a roll lately in terms of like getting roles and stuff. So like, she's very hyped right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an understandable casting choice. And like honestly, if she's playing like MJ or what was the other one that she was like
Or
rumored to?
MJ, or it's rumored she could be
Or Jean
introduced
Grey.
as Jean Grey, right?
Yeah.
To begin the X-Men of Marvel, the MCU.
So I think
I
I think
highly
it's a
doubt it would
solid
be.
choice.
To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I don't.
I hope
I,
not. You're right though.
Because like
yeah, I
technically
don't.
technically Zendaya's Tom Holland's like
Mm-hmm.
MJ in this universe, so like it
Yeah,
doesn't really make sense.
but again,
Um,
what does confuse me is that Zendaya's character is Michelle Jones, not
yeah,
Mary Jane. So I'm not sure why the name being Michelle Jones, not Mary Jane, or if they plan to have a different character named Mary Jane. And I even wonder who's going to be the Gwen Stacy as well. But for the point of this podcast, I'm just kind of trying to figure out who Sadie Sink is playing because her character is described right here as a sharp and free-spirited woman with a mysterious past, strong-willed, intelligent, and not easily intimidated. So, who could that possibly be? I'm not a huge comic book guy, but my mind just thinks maybe just a Mary Jane, Jean Grey, or any character that I could be introduced to myself.
Yeah, I think Jean Grey is a shout. Because like I said, like MJ is already like kind of like an established character already.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, both like Gwen Stacy and MJ like exist in
Mhm.
one universe, but um, kind of doesn't really make sense to me to bring in another MJ, even though
Right.
Zendaya's Michelle Jones technically. Um, but I'd love to see Sadie Sink as Jean Grey because she does it very well. Like like
hmm
when she's in Stranger Things, like it was very well done. So
hmm
um,
I mean, her hair is telling me just her hair is giving me Jean Grey vibes for some reason. But maybe she has
Another
a different
another
colored.
she could probably like there's so many avenues to go by. Like
Mhm.
I highly doubt like there's no possible way I can think of like Marvel just pulling out the MJ bag on Sweetie. Is that me?
Well, it's not
Oh,
me.
oh yeah. There's no way I see Marvel pulling out the MJ bag for Sadie Sink. Like they could go any route. Like even for how they're doing the multiverse, she
hmm
could probably even play Spider Girl. Mayday Parker,
I just
and
don't know if she has like the vibe of Spider Girl, Spider Woman. I do personally want to see Sydney Sweeney as the Gwen Stacy of Spider Woman because she has, looking in the comics, she has the same kind of body. She has the face. Having her cast in
no,
Marvel would bring so many other newer viewers too.
yeah,
I'm tired of seeing Sydney Sweeney everywhere, bro. I'm not gonna.
How? How?
I'm tired of seeing her
Look at
everywhere.
her. How?
she's literally like
Gwen
everywhere.
Stacy, nah, no, I can't, bro. I'm sorry. Like nothing, like in my opinion, nothing beats. Yeah, there's no way she's gonna play MJ, but nothing beats Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy, bro. Like I just don't
Yep,
want.
That is
Sydney
yep,
true.
Sweeney- Mind you, she already played. She already played. Sydney wasn't she already in freaking
Madam
what's that
Web.
movie? Madam Web. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna like just put her in a like just recast her to play a
Yeah.
Gwen.
I mean, unfortunately, Sydney Sweeney,
Even
she's
though they were
part.
in the Andrew Garfield, even though they were in like the Andrew Garfield universe, I think, and this was like before Peter was born, like it
hmm
wouldn't make sense to just bring her, and do that.
That's true. It's just unfortunate how she's part of probably the worst Spider-Man movie ever. Very unfortunate.
yeah. I still haven't seen
But
that
for
movie, and I
sure,
don't think
not
I ever am.
like bro,
it's
Sydney
it's just
Sweeney as Stacy, you're dreaming, bro. You're dreaming.
I have been dreaming about
One can
just
hope. One
literally.
can hope. We're still early on. You never know. You never
No,
know.
it's true. It's true. I just,
Nah,
the
bro.
fact that we have one of the biggest future upcoming stars, in television and movie cinema. I'm just trying to figure out what her role is as a non-die-hard comic book reader. I'm sure others who have many more options, but looking at this article itself, even May Parker comes to mind, which I don't really see.
Yeah, I don't think that's a possibility at all. I think like probably Jean Grey is like the most probable with
hmm
MJ like right under that. But like for me, Sophie Turner did like a pretty good job in Dark Phoenix,
Yeah. Oh,
and
whoa,
like
whoa, 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 easy, easy there.
whoa,
Sophie
whoa, whoa,
Turner, Sophie
whoa.
did a good job, but don't name that movie. Okay, don't name that
The
movie.
movie,
That's a
the
bad
movie was
example.
the movie was a sell. Like I just didn't believe that in like don't get me wrong. I love how I kind of like how they wrote off the X-Men universe. Well, not wrote off, but how they structured it in a
hmm
way like the Days of Future Past or whatnot. How they kind of like reversed the timeline.
Yeah,
But the Dark Phoenix movie, I just could not enjoy it, and that's saying a lot because I enjoy a lot of movies. Like that's saying a lot.
It is.
No, but like
Go
she
ahead.
like movie aside, plot aside, she did a pretty good job at Jean Grey. So I'm like, okay. But like I'm
No,
not
I'm not.
upset
I'm not taking that
at
away
Sadie
from
Sink.
her. I'm
Who?
talking about strictly the writing. But you know what's it's kind of off topic. Like I'm looking at an ad where it showed Green Lantern on your computer, Jeremy.
Hmm.
Um, just this is just a food for thought. Is probably something that will never happen in a billion years, but it would be the funniest thing, seeing like the coolest thing, just seeing like crossroads when it comes to like I'm not gonna say it because I said it
No,
last time in
no.
the
You
last
gotta
episode,
finish
bro.
it now. You gotta finish what you said.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Okay, so you know how Deadpool went to the Green Lantern universe and shot him in the back of the head, right?
Right.
It would be the craziest crossroads if they could just go to like if they could just play around with like other universes. Like for example, like the Invincible
And what
universe. Not,
in Spider-Man 4?
It would be cool,
not in
but I don't think it's
Spider-Man.
gonna happen.
That's like in any of the movies in general. Like how if they could just like
Hmm.
do that, or even with GI Joe, which is probably not going to happen. But
Wow.
That is a throwback and a half.
what?
G.I.
GI Joe,
Joe.
yeah, guys, bro. Like I
Let
love
me ask you
like
guys a question. I'm just trying to milk out this topic as long as possible, but I'm actually curious. Who would you guys have picked if it wasn't if for to play the more like whoever Sadie Sink is playing, whether it's Jean Grey or whether it is MJ, Mary Jane, who knows? But who would you guys would have picked to play the upcoming Jean Grey if it's not Sadie Sink?
I don't know. Like
I don't know. I don't really
I think
know.
I think Sadie Sink is just a solid choice. Like she's a phenomenal actor. She's literally in like everywhere I turn, I see her face, and so she's really hot right now. She's very hyped.
That's
Um,
true. I mean, if Marvel is thinking of going the route to cast younger actors, that they can carry a franchise like how Deadpool joked about.
yeah,
If Marvel is thinking about casting younger actors to play these characters, I do agree with you that Sadie Sink has the experience with big characters, and she has just um this will be her first role actually in Marvel. So I just hope she has the needed experience to play this character to the best of her ability because she knows the hype it will build around her, especially the kind of movies that she's going to be playing in Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, Zendaya, and knowing who the villain might be. Maybe it's Kingpin as the mayor of New York as the villain, but there was rumored about the actually look. Let me scroll down here for the villain for Spider-Man 4 to be someone in the 30s to 50s, any ethnicity, and a powerful and imposing figure. And I saw on someone's TikTok that it's rumored to be a similar character to Madam Web, but someone supposedly a better character who can, I guess, mind control or turn people into evil versions of
Mr. Negative. I want to
of
see
like
who.
evil versions of like a spider person. It's hard to explain now, but the current description of the villain is 30s to 50s, and the ethnicity, which is interesting, a powerful and imposing figure. I mean, that's almost any Marvel villain, but I'm just curious to see who they're going to cast for Spider-Man 4 when I thought they were done after Spider-Man 3. I mean,
What
I
about
think
what about Venom? Because
I was gonna say that because of the
yeah,
post-credit scene.
that's a big
yeah.
possibility as well. I wish that they would have teased Tom Holland in any way, but Tom Hardy is in New York, so who knows?
No, it doesn't have to be Tom Hardy. Like it would be nice, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't necessarily
No, I know,
have to be.
but what if they tease in Venom 2? He's now in New York, same place Peter Parker is. So what if
Oh,
they
yeah,
find a way?
because remember Tom Hardy, he was in another universe. And so before he was like, let's go to New York, he went back to that other universe. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
don't think they would cast Tom Hardy. Like, if anything, Tom Hardy would come back for Doomsday,
Yeah,
for or Secret Wars or Secret Wars.
Right.
maybe.
But, but it's
I wouldn't be
possible.
surprised if
Like
it's like I
for
mean,
for sure, we're seeing Toby and Andrew in Secret Wars. Like that.
or
That is
maybe
most
even Doomsday.
maybe,
The,
maybe.
It's a
But
reach, but yeah.
no, it's not.
nah, I don't think it's a reach. I definitely don't think it's a
No.
reach.
If we get the
Not
original X
I
Men,
think they're done. I
if we
think they're
got
done.
no, I
listen,
don't think so. No,
if we
I don't
got the
think so.
original X Men characters, the original ones, we just had Toby and Andrew just last year, 2 years ago, for No Way Home.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think it's a reach at all.
that was a
Nah,
fan
because
service, and then now
they
they're done.
also, nah, bro, they also kind of like ended it to where it's like they could possibly come back. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so, like, people were even like saying, "Oh, finish Amazing Spider-Man 3 or do Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4." But I definitely think that they could possibly come back for, like, if not like, gotta be at least Secret Wars. You know what I mean? At least it has
All
to be.
right. Well,
Same as
anyway,
now.
all right. Well, let's see what happens in the future. Believe me, more announcements can be made within within the span of a snap, because we get this announcement out of nowhere. I thought it was gonna be just I thought it was just a rumor. I thought it was another troll, but not. Marvel really had us waiting 5 hours for just 25 names. So, anyways, but yeah, just to end off Sadie Sink, I'm not sure who she's playing, but all we know right now is that her character is just simply a sharp and free-spirited woman with a mysterious past, strong-willed, very smart, and not easily intimidated. So that could be a Jean Grey. I don't think it's Mary Jane. We'll just have to wait and see what character she's casted as. The announcement could be made possibly at CinemaCon, at Comic Con, or next, no, possibly this year, because the movies will be out already next year, 2026, just
Yeah.
2 weeks after the Odyssey. So we'll have to. It's a waiting game now with Marvel, but you know that they never disappoint with castings. But before we do end it off, it is a short episode again, just two topics. What do you guys have any final thoughts on? Let me unshare. Any final thoughts on the Avengers Doomsday casting? Who you're happy that is back, or who you want specifically to see come back for Doomsday?
I'm really excited that Cyclops is coming back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really want Deadpool. I feel like Deadpool coming back would just be icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Like he's been trolling, being like, "Oh, I'm not in the MCU," and da, da, da. So it'd be very cool to see Deadpool in there.
and also,
Maybe.
like,
Hold on. Henry Cavill's
yeah,
Wolverine.
Or
yeah, I was actually gonna mention that
or
earlier. For
or
Secret
yeah.
for X Men, right?
No, I was about to say, what if Henry Cavill comes as a surprise casting for Captain Britain?
Captain
I
Because
can see
Britain.
that.
yeah, because he's British, Captain Britain. Because that is a character also in comics. Like we have Captain
That makes
Carter, but this is
Yeah,
not like a yeah. But we could see on the animated version of Captain Carter, or because she died in live action in Doctor Strange. So we could see the cartoon version of Captain Carter with the live action version of Henry Cavill's Captain Britain. That on-screen pairing would just break the internet right there.
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel
makes
like
sense.
any role, any like superhero role Henry Cavill steps into, like I'm just hyped for. Like
Mm-hmm.
he did such a good job with Man of Steel, and I'm kind of pissed that he's not
Mm-hmm.
Superman anymore.
And Mission Impossible Fallout,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Amazing actor.
A few names that I know are coming back because they had a very short stint in Marvel and they have a future for sure in Marvel. Ironheart definitely has to come back. Dominic Thorne. She only appeared in Black Panther 2, and I think she appeared in something else for a very short stint. But Anthony Ramos, who's going to be, I believe, also in Ironheart, I feel his character, but he's going to be in a future Marvel. I think Ironheart's going to be a show. I think it's a Disney Plus show. I think I could be wrong, but we definitely could have to see Miss Marvel we have to see definitely Chris Pratt because
Oh
the
yeah,
way
100%.
the way he ended things off, he ended things just being back with his father after Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Chris Evans is definitely coming back. He's confirmed already. White Vision, this time, White Vision, he has his own show coming up too, Vision Quest or Vision. And one more name that I kind of we had to see come back is Valkyrie.
Mm.
That's a name I want to see come back personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest, I'm sure like Doctor Strange was not announced even. Doctor Strange, the Wasp, Moon Knight, like Malik said, Daredevil is a guarantee for Secret Wars. There's no way.
That
Daredevil?
I
Or
would love to see.
you
But
said
yeah, I mean,
Daredevil?
you're there for sure. And maybe the Punisher. He's in the show too, Daredevil.
That is true. That is true.
So if we get, imagine we get the Defenders come for Secret
That
Wars.
would be sick. That would be sick.
That would be
I'm on
incredible.
I'm almost done with season 1 for OG Daredevil, bro. It's
Oh my
so
god,
good.
I've watched one
I'm
episode. Of
still, I'm
Netflix.
still working through season 2.
Well, like, because I didn't watch Born Again yet, so don't spoil nothing for me.
Nah,
If you
don't worry. I'm all caught up. I saw one episode on Netflix, and I'm all caught up for the Disney Plus version because I saw one episode. I already know what he's about, and I already know the whole character, the villain. So, last week's episode 5 and 6, there's a reason why they dropped 2 episodes and not just one. That's all I'm saying. But Daredevil has, I think, 2 more episodes left, 3 at most, which is crazy. But anyways,
Let's
I have on my
see.
phone. These are all lists of names who have not been announced
Damn.
yet. Okay, only 25 people, 27 people were announced out of 50 or 60. So Marvel definitely has quite the bag, definitely to pay all these people. And
Yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, whether it's all these names confirmed for Doomsday, or all these names confirmed for Secret Wars, and only half for Doomsday. I just know that I'm gonna definitely be in my seat. I don't care how much it costs. I'm gonna find my way into that screening for Marvel's Doomsday. But I just hope we get some kind of announcement at Comic Con, CinemaCon, wherever, because this movie comes out already. I think next year, 2 years.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 2026, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Not
Malik,
far.
Malik, can you hear me? You good?
hear you now. Like, you guys are cut off. I couldn't hear
Which
when
part?
you said something. Okay, so you said something about Daredevil. You said that
Hmm.
you saw one episode and then you were caught
Yeah,
up. in the
yeah.
Disney
So
Plus, and then you cut off like you were about
okay,
to explain
so
something, and
I
then
was
when you came
basically
back, you
right.
finished.
I was just saying how I saw one episode of Daredevil on Netflix, and now
Mhm.
I'm caught up on the one on Disney Plus. And after watching the one on Netflix, I was already immediately a fan favorite of the character. You know, because he's blind, the way he uses his powers, his hearing, and everything. And I'll just say that last week there was a reason why they dropped 2 episodes and not just one. That's all I'm saying. And it's crazy how after all the hype to build up this show, we have already 2 or 3 episodes left, with season 2 confirmed coming too next year. It's just crazy how fast time is flying, and I'm just happy that this character is back in Marvel and potentially in Doomsday Secret Wars because the first trailer for Doomsday will break records in just 1 hour.
Oh yeah, for sure. And could you imagine we get Doomsday before GTA 6? Like, that would be
Do you
crazy.
think? Do you guys think that the movies Doomsday and Secret Wars? Well, I think maybe not Doomsday, but for sure probably Secret Wars. Do you think it's gonna be a bigger movie than Endgame?
I mean, but it depends on the characters, and it has to be a good
Yeah.
story. If the story is
I feel
great,
like yeah.
go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was gonna say I feel like maybe not Doomsday. Like Doomsday will for sure be up there, but I don't think it's gonna break the Endgame record. But if they play their cards right, I feel like Secret Wars might.
The only thing that did make me think a little bit was the casting for Doom being a variant of Tony Stark or just his own character because everyone knows they brought him back to bring the viewers, the ratings back up. in my opinion,
Yeah.
after how low Phase 4 went. But they do have so many other actors that could have been Doctor Doom. My personal favorite being, oh my god, very famous for Oppenheimer. Jesus.
Killian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, thank you. Cillian Murphy or Cillian Murphy, however you say his first name. He would have been, in my opinion, the best casting for Doom. Just seeing how he acts in the upcoming. It was a movie on Netflix, or it was a very famous show back then.
Peaky Blinders.
Piggy Blinders, yes, Piggy Blinders, and seeing him in Oppenheimer, I really thought it was gonna be him, but they really brought back Robert Downey Jr. just to help the ratings. That's how down bad they were.
Yeah.
But Joe Russo did say that the way he died in Endgame does have a connection to his story as Doctor Doom. So, and they did say that no one else could play this character the way Robert Downey is about to play him. So, all I know is that they better make it make sense. And RDJ, he's basically the godfather of the MCU, so he won't disappoint. I just hope it's well worth the wait for this movie, for this casting, and the story. Obviously, the directing. You know the Russo brothers. They made amazing MC movies. The Winter Soldier being my top favorite one. Infinity War Endgame. They made the best Marvel movies ever.
Yeah.
So no doubt that they'll succeed in Doomsday, and no doubt for Secret Wars. Doomsday comes out next year. It comes out next year. Secret Wars in 2 years. So it's almost here. It's just a matter of time until you find out the rest of the casting, and a matter of time until you just get the teaser to break records for Doomsday, you know?
Yeah. Can't wait for that to go on.
For real. And any last thoughts on the casting for Doomsday, or Sadie Sink in Spider-Man 4?
Nope.
No?
Fast and sweet. I really can't believe it took us this long to do episode 8, and I really hope episode 9 can be made right after I come back from a CinemaCon, which takes place in Vegas again from March 31st until the event starts on March 31st, yes, 31st until April 4th, April 3rd. I fly back on the Saturday at 6 in the morning, very exciting. So I do hope on the Sunday or whenever I'm available, I could, contact the group chat. We can get episode 9 going, recapping only CinemaCon. We take the 1 hour and we will recap CinemaCon. And I'm looking forward to seeing panel updates from Marvel, panel updates from Paramount, Mission Impossible, Lionsgate's with Ballerina, the spinoff for John Wick, Disney, and Warner Brothers. The first trailer for Superman will definitely be shown for Warner Brothers DC. So hyped for that. But the latest updates were on Doomsday casting that wasted 5 hours of my day, and the Sadie Sink casting, which is old news but still future news. So
Yeah.
any last words, Brian and Malik, on these topics before we close it off for today?
Feel like I got everything off my chest.
I think we all did, whether it's ranting or opinions, whatever. I think this was a great episode, nice, short, and sweet. This has been episode 8. We got Brian here, we got Malik here. Thanks, guys, for joining. Stay tuned for updates on our accounts. Brian, do you have any plugs to just announce for the crowd? Any accounts, Instagram? Where can people follow you at?
That's the Brian Scarlett on Instagram, and yeah, that's it.
Malik?
Malik St. Louis spelled out. But that's it.
And you guys can find me Instagram as Entertain Today, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where I've been updating you guys. Also CinemaCon, where I spend always a bag to inform and update you guys with love and passion. Stay tuned for episode 9. That will happen sometime after CinemaCon. When I come back again, our only topic will be just that event. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Malik. This has been episode 8. Good night and good day. See you next time.
Good night.
Peace. Later.
Peace.